Hello everybody and welcome back. Today is Friday, so unfortunately I had to go to the college and work on some work on Thursday, so I wasn't able to come out here and do my exercise video, so that was a little unfortunate. But no big deal, making up for it today. Anywho, I didn't really get any suggestions on what to talk about, so I just kind of thought about it for a minute, and most of the more popular YouTube channels usually involve either game reviews or game footage. So since I don't have the really tools to do any let's play videos or anything like that, at least right now, I figured that the best alternative would be to have me do a game review. And this morning I found this shirt in my stuff. So believe it or not, we're going to do a Tomb Raider review today. And the Tomb Raider in question that we are reviewing is the most recent revamp. And a lot of people have mixed feelings about this game. Some people like that they're, kind of retooling her into a new character, a more kind of realistic protagonist instead of, just a pair of boobs. Honestly, that's pretty much what that version was. And so they really tried to put a lot more effort to try and make her a lot more human in this one. And just to let you know, okay, disclaimer here, may or may not be spoilers in this video. There probably will be, but it's not going to be huge stuff. Well, actually, it probably will be. If there are going to be spoilers, they're going to be spoilers. So if you're not one for spoilers, I suggest you stop watching. So, just letting you know. What I found was really intriguing about this game, let's bump up our speed a little bit here. What I found really intriguing was that they approached it from a completely different perspective. They didn't throw her in as, an already seasoned, professional. In the beginning of the game, you're completely weak, you have no idea what you're doing, you're just barely trying to survive. And that's a really interesting place to be in terms of being a gamer, because so many of these video games start out with you just rampaging in, just destroying everything in your path. And being from a perspective where you're just, right out of the gate, you're practically defenseless. That's a really interesting place to be in. And so basically, as you travel through the island, you pick up all these cool gadgets and stuff, which it's actually pretty cool. But there's a lot of aspects of it that are kind of laughable. Because you start off with just a regular wood longbow, and that's it. And then, as you upgrade your weapons, they turn into more modern weapons, which is really funny, because at first, if I remember correctly, you go from just like, a short bow to like a long bow, and then you've got a compound bow, and then you've got, by the end of the game, you're rocking some, $3,000, all wheels and weights and everything all over it. And, it's just ridiculous. So that was one of the aspects that I found to be a little preposterous. Another thing that I found kind of funny was there's a lot of, impossible jumps that you have to do, to where I remember there's one part where you're running from one point to another on like a broken dock, and you actually run and you jump, and you're jumping, and then you go, instead of going in an arc, you just go in a straight line. You don't even fall. You just go, you kind of go like that. It's ridiculous. So that was one of the more preposterous things that I kept noticing. And if you didn't like jump at just the right moment, you wouldn't get that weird little glitch to where you would make it, and it would basically make it to where you couldn't get past that part unless you hit it just right. But all in all, the platforming, which is kind of a Tomb Raider staple, was actually really fun. A lot of the environments will change dynamically as you progress. And as your different tools level up and get stronger, you're able to access more things. So it's got a nice natural way of kind of controlling your path. And the directions as to where you're supposed to go are pretty clear most of the time. I mean, there's a few places where you're kind of just like, okay, how in the world am I supposed to do this? But a lot of the puzzles and stuff like, a lot of the puzzles were actually really simplistic. And another aspect that I found to be really questionable was the combat. Now, the combat, when you start off, you're a scared, teenager, on an island full of, trained killers. And the first person that you kill, you can just tell, like, she's absolutely distraught about it. But she's all distraught for about 30 seconds. And then 30 seconds after she gets over it, she is immediately headshotting people left and right. So, it's kind of crazy. Basically go from, I'm not killing anyone, to everybody dies right now. And it's kind of a break in character, really. But I can see how, in survival situations, you gotta do what you gotta do, but, you still gotta feel bad about it. I mean, she feels bad about the first one, and then every one after is just like, you die because you're there, kind of thing. And, I found that to be really stupid. But, in terms of the variety of weapons that you have, it's actually pretty nice. Now consider, okay, I haven't played this game in a while, so I mean you have a bow and arrow that you start out with. Then shortly after you get a really crude pickaxe, which I find really silly that you actually have to unlock a skill to be able to use the pickaxe as a weapon, which I found myself doing a lot, just because I more or less am a really big melee player. I mean, I'm a pretty good shot when I need to be, but other than that, I'm pretty much strictly melee. So I found myself, running up to barricades, jumping over them, and just hitting somebody in the head with that thing. But, yeah, it's a pretty fun game. It's visually, it's great, but honestly, I really don't care about visuals. I mean, I've seen, games that look like they were, that I could draw them myself. And I'm a terrible artist, by the way. And, it looks like I could draw this game, and it would still be just as fun. So, I mean, visually it's an amazing game, but I don't really stress about visuals all that much. One part though that I was kind of disappointed in was in most of the original Tomb Raider games, at some point you fight some gigantic, oversized spider or a snake or a dragon or some ungodly abomination. And there's really no ungodly abominations in this game. It kind of sucks. I mean, pretty much everybody you fight is either an animal or is a person. That's it. I mean, the final boss is just like a 12-foot guy in a suit of armor with a big sword. That's the final boss. And then the ending of the game is basically just a quick time event. And it's not even that fun. So, anywho. Oh, right, I was listing the weapons, wasn't I? So, the weapons are bow and arrow, a pickaxe, you get an assault rifle at some point, you get a shotgun at some point, and then I think you get a grenade launcher. But, you know, it's a fun game. I should actually play it again, because I haven't played it in a while. I probably should have done that before I did this review, but I just kind of grabbed it. Anywho, it's a fun game. I highly recommend it. And what's funny is I've actually gone about a half mile, actually more than a half mile. Let's see where it is. Almost 0.6 of a mile during this video. So that's some good progress. So I am going to sign out and upload this video, and hopefully y'all enjoy it. So I will see you the next day that I do a video. And if you guys can please suggest either video games for me to review or just something for me to talk about, go ahead. And I will do my best to review them. If I've played the game before, I'll let you know. If I haven't played the game, then I'm not going to review it. So, I'll see you guys later. Peace.